Hello friend, welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure you remember this 2012 Tundra from previous videos. And while filming those previous services and maintenance repairs, we discovered together that there is the skid plate missing and also the exhaust hanger is going to fall off. I finally got those parts, so let's deal in this video with that skid plate. And here you can see that skid plate by itself. It's pretty expensive, and I can't believe on how many places it's already scratched. Toyota calls this engine cover assembly, and the dealer asked, and I paid for it, $304 plus tax. Pretty expensive. I will normally not accept something so scratched, but it's a skid plate, right? It will be underneath a car getting hit by the rocks and scraped, so I don't think it's a big deal in this case. Now the guy in the parts department sold me 5 screws to install it, but I don't think I have enough. These are the main ones obviously, but then the 3 are just these ones. So let's go together and see if I can even install it today. So I'm underneath the truck and looking on the mounting holes. 1, 2, 3 in that big member, and there are 1 and 2 below the radiator. So instead of 2 metric threaded bolts, I need either 2, and here 2 it's 4, or I need all 5. Which means, looking on the skid plate, these are the 2 which are below the radiator, and towards the back these are the hangers, right? There should be 2 more bolts, that's 4, maybe 5th here. And here you can see these 2 bolts, they fit right here in this cross member. Of course, before installing these bolts, I will apply in those holes anti-seize, and obviously everybody knows why, because how many times in the past some Toyota came for the regular oil change and the mechanic ended up with dealing with those screws in those skid plates. Actually, it can take you longer to removing it, breaking it, because it's all rusted inside of the frame. It can take you more time than performing the oil change itself. Sometimes it can become a nightmare. So that's why we put that anti-seize inside all the time. And how you install those skid plates, you always start underneath the radiator, right? You try to hang it there by those hooks, and after you did that, you have it correctly aligned, you will start entering these 2 bolts. I was able to align the first one, which is right here. You can see it's going sideways, and the reason for that is because these holes are slightly moved. I believe something happened in past, somebody hit something, and that's why they never put the skid plate back, because they damaged it and they decided just throw it away or something, and they never put it back. So both holes, the threads are slightly sideways, it's not going straight down. So I have the rear ones, these 2, 1 and 2, they are by hand installed, but right now I'm missing 1 and 2 here. Not to mention that they didn't basically sell me these plastic inserts, 1, 2 and 3, right? Which needs to be first installed in that skid plate, and then you can use these 3 bolts. And that's why the mechanics never throw away any bolts which they collect, basically, right? Because right now I don't want to drive to the dealer and hope they have it, or I don't want to drive to the hardware store. I need to go and find 2 matching screws for that front of the skid plate. By some kind of miracle, I was able to find these 2 bolts, which will basically allow me to finish this installation. Which means I'm able to install both those bolts in front, 1 and 2, right? And make them nice and snug. And the same with the 2 in the back. And that means you can finally see how that skid plate beautifully protects that oil filter housing and the other parts from the rocks, definitely, and debris on the ground. All basically I need to finish are these 3 screws which will come here, right? But I'm missing those plastic inserts which has to be installed in the skid plate first. I was able to stop at the dealership, and here you can see these 3 retainers which I need to install in that skid plate, and these bolts will fit into them. And it's very easy to install it, as you can see. I will just push it in, right? Hopefully you can see it. I'm holding the camera with the other hand, but I will correctly position it, which is right there, as you can see, right? And I'm able to push it in that skid plate. Now I finally, if you look at it, give me a second, right here. Now I finally can start installing these screws. And here you can see all 3 of them correctly installed in the place. So my friend, make sure you are subscribed, because I will actually start filming another video for you in a couple of minutes. Thanks for watching today, and have a wonderful day.